Have you ever wondered what happens to your body when you do not have enough quality sleep? Have you ever wondered what happens to you while you are asleep? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NK Podcast Show, where we educate people on how to stay young while growing old by increasing their life expectancy. And with you today is Dinte Clivet Alonfi representing the NK program. And today we'll be talking on a very, very important topic, something that is literally always neglected, but it affects your health in ways you cannot comprehend, especially in the long term. And this today's topic is something I am sure everybody can relate to it. Yes, you can relate to it. But before we delve into the topic proper, I would like to implore you that if you have not subscribed to our channel yet to get updated information on how to stay young while growing old, please do, and always turn on the notification bar so that you keep having first-hand information as soon as it is dropped, so you don't miss out on anything. And if you have not watched the previous episodes, especially those on how relationships affect your state of health, please do, so that you get to comprehend how the state of relationship, especially a romantic relationship, affects your health and how it affects your mental health especially. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you back to today's discussion. We are going to be talking on sleep. And yes, sleep is something that we do not pay so much attention to, but it affects our health in ways that you cannot even comprehend. And today we're talking on sleep. Does sleep has the ability to affect or influence your health status? That is a question we are looking forward to answering, and we'll be answering this question by talking on different topics or different things that bring us back to the main theme, which is, does sleep affect or has the ability to affect your health? And the first thing we'll look at is what sleep is. Another thing we'll look at is how important is sleep to your health and well-being. The third thing is the third thing we'll look at is what happens during sleep. And the fourth thing, or the other thing we'll look at, is, does sleep or does inadequate sleep or inadequate quality sleep affect your health? And then I will share with you a very short experience of mine so you'll get to relate with it. And the first thing I want to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, is that sleep is a complex biological process that helps you rest. It helps you rest, it helps you process new information, and it keeps you re-energized in preparation for the next day. And during sleep has different stages through which you go, and these stages are important for varied reasons. We have two major cycles or two major phases of sleep that you have to undergo each night. And these phases or these stages are known as the rapid eye movement sleep and the non-rapid eye movement sleep. During sleep, the body actually cycles through two distinct stages or distinct phases, where we have the rapid eye movement and the non-rapid eye movement. We will come to this, we'll explain, we'll elaborate more on these different phases of sleep and what they signify or what they stand for. But one thing you must know is that it is these stages of sleep that keeps the brain constantly active even when you are asleep. That is why the brain will always produce waves when you are asleep, because the brain is constantly active and you always need energy to keep the brain active. This explains why sometimes you might eat in the evening before you go to bed, then you wake up, you are in bed, you you've done literally nothing, but you wake up, you feel so hungry and so tired because the brain was active while you were asleep. I'm sure you can relate to that. The brain was active while you were asleep. But now, one thing I want to pass across right now is how important is sleep. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, how important is sleep. And one thing that is coming to my mind, ladies and gentlemen, is when we look at sleep, some people really do not have great regard for sleep, while others consider sleep a very, very important part of their life. And sometimes when you look at successful people, they'll tell you their secret is they spend 24 hours studying, this number of hours studying and not sleep, while others will tell you they took their sleep serious, and because they took their sleep serious, they were more productive. So when we look at sleep generally, ladies and gentlemen, the different phases of sleep, one phase gets you rested and re-energized for the next day, while the other step or the other stage helps you to learn new memories and process new information. And with these distinct steps and distinct phases of sleep, get to see that it is important that each night you go through all the stages of sleep. We cannot negate the fact that sometimes, due to environmental factors and other disturbances, you do not get to sleep well, you do not get to have quality sleep at night, which affects you in ways that you cannot really imagine. And one of the things you must understand, especially when it comes to the importance of sleep, is that sleep is very, very important in performance. Yes, for you to perform very well the following day, you need to be well rested at night, so that when you wake up you will feel re-energized, you will feel relaxed, you will feel calm, and you will feel like you have that boost of motivation and energy to do the work. But when you do not rest very well, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing you witness the following day is that you will you will constantly feel sleepy, you will feel more lazy, you easily be irritated, you easily be annoyed, you easily get angry, and all those things will contribute to you not performing well at your job site, or whatsoever, is it a job site or your office, wherever you work, or whatever project you're currently taking on. You will not be able to perform at your best because you did not rest well, and performance will be slowed down. Another important thing concerning sleep is that it affects your mood. Sleep affects your mood. And for instance, when you see people who do not always have good night rest, they always tend to be grumpy, and they always look annoyed. They're easily annoyed, they're easily irritated, they easily get angry, which in turn tends to affect the way they know the relationship they have with other people. And because it affects the relationship they have with other people, it tends to affect their productivity, affect every other thing around them. And another thing that sleep is really important, another area that sleep is really important in, is for your health. And we will dive into this again. Sleep is very, very important for your health because you need sleep to prevent certain diseases from taking place. For instance, there are diseases like high blood pressure, maybe coronary heart failure, we have diabetes and obesity, weight gain, that are highly related to how you sleep or the quality of sleep you get. And how are they related? We will find out when we reach the point where sleep, or how sleep affects your health. And that is exactly where we are headed to right now. But before we go to it, I would like to share with you what happens during sleep. When you're sleeping, what happens when you're sleeping? So that is what we are diving into right now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, we are about looking at what happens during sleep. And a person cycles through distinct stages of sleep each night. A person cycles through distinct stages of sleep each night, and these stages help the body get rested and re-energized, as I said earlier. And If you've noticed at the early night, at the beginning of the night, each person moves first through the rapid eye movement sleep, and from this rapid eye movement sleep, you get to you have a very short period of REM sleep where you feel like maybe you're about to start dreaming, but you're feeling like you're about, you're still trying to get into deep sleep. And then now you have short periods of rapid eye movement first, then you have long periods of deep sleep. And deep sleep is equally associated, is equally known as the non-rapid eye movement sleep. In this non-rapid eye movement sleep, it is a period between where you feel like, the first stage here, you feel like you're awake, then you're equally asleep, and it is at this point where your muscles start to relax, your brain starts to relax, your body temperature starts to reduce, and then you progress to stage 2 where your breathing slows, the brain activity slows down, and you begin to feel like you're rested and all those things. But now, as the night progresses, what happens is that you have longer periods of rapid eye movement sleep and shorter periods of deep sleep. And what happens in this rapid eye movement sleep is what makes it even more interesting. It is here that you have the highest probability to dream, because the brain fires impulses to different or the brain receives information from different areas and is processing them. And at this point, you undergo a short period of paralysis, which permits you not to move, not to interact easily during your sleep. That is why sometimes when you're sleeping and then they are following, are chasing you in your dream, you really feel like you're running but you're stagnant, because there is some sort of paralysis, partial paralysis, that is happening during the rapid eye movement sleep. And because of that, it tends to affect you physically. So when you're undergoing these stages, you dream, and sometimes you can remember the dreams, because these different stages are important in processing new information and in making new memories. So sometimes you can dream and remember the dream, other times you can dream and forget the dream. But the important thing is that you're dreaming in the rapid eye movement sleep, and towards the end of the night, you are more in different stages of non-REM sleep, non-rapid eye movement sleep, where you're beginning to feel awake, you're beginning to gain alertness, your muscles are beginning to be more active, and your breath is increasing, your body temperature is increasing, and all those things are happening to wake you up from sleep, so that you can regain consciousness and regain or re-engage in the activities for the day. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have learned something concerning what happens during the sleep. But you can always do some more search to find out, especially when it comes to different activities that happen in the REM sleep. Getting into the core matter of this particular session or particular episode: how does sleep affect your health? Yes, that is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to constantly remember that we are interested in you staying young while growing old, thereby increasing your life expectancy. And that is why we want you look right now into how sleep affects the quality of your life. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, how does sleep affect your health or affect the quality of health? And when we look at it, ladies and gentlemen, we get to see that periods of inadequate sleep or inadequate quality sleep turn to affect the way we feel and the way we function generally. And in the short term, let us do this classification. The short term effects of a lack of sleep will include generally drowsiness. You feel like you want to collapse, you're not having stability, you're trying to put your leg and you're trying to feel balance, but you're having this imbalance in movement, imbalance in coordination. That is drowsiness. You generally feel sleepy. You feel sleepy, and because you feel sleepy, there are a lot of things you cannot do right because you feel sleepy. That is drowsiness. You have irritability. Irritability means any little things irritate you. Something someone will say irritates you, a touch will irritate you, what you watch will irritate you, and so many things will just be irritating you for no good reason. And another thing that you feel is sleepiness, and you have reduced alertness and attention problem. Reduced alertness, attention problems, and you have motor issues. You have issues with motor coordination. And motor, when I talk about motor, I talk about movement coordination. You will face difficulties really, moving different parts of the body. And for instance, for those who drive, it will be very difficult for them to concentrate while driving because they will literally be sleeping while driving, and that can easily cause accidents. So that is it for short-term effects. Then when we look at the long-term effects of lack of sleep, the long-term effect of lack of sleep is highly associated with so many problems. And one thing you must understand about lack of sleep is that lack of sleep is highly associated with weight gain and obesity. Yes. This is a strategy some people are using to gain weight. They are not sleeping properly, but lack of sleep is associated to weight gain and obesity. Why? Because some of the hormones that are involved in the metabolism of fat are produced during sleep, and even growth hormone, the hormone that facilitates you to grow, is produced at night or during sleep. And because of these things, and you're lacking this quality sleep, you tend to lack these hormones. And because you lack these hormones, there is first growth is stunted. Secondly, metabolism is slowed down. Thirdly, fat deposition in different parts of the body, which leads to overweight and, of course, obesity. And obesity is never something good. It's never something good. You can handle it. Start just by sleeping. Prevention, they say, is always better than cure. Prevention is always better than cure. Another thing that is highly associated with lack of poor quality sleep is the advent of cardiovascular diseases. You will suffer a lot of cardiovascular diseases, especially when you lack sleep, like high blood pressure, that is hypertension. You will suffer coronary heart issues, and the other issues like irregular heartbeat are some of the things you will suffer because of lack of poor quality sleep, or lack of good quality sleep, because of lack of good quality sleep over a long period of time. Another thing that is associated with poor quality sleep over a long period of time is type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, we will talk about it maybe in another episode, but these things together tend to affect you in ways you cannot even comprehend. And the last thing that is highly associated with lack of good quality sleep over a long period of time is that it literally affects your mood, and it can easily lead to anxiety and depression and even mood disorders, which are things that you shouldn't be suffering from because of lack of quality sleep. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to prioritize sleep. And it's not just sleep, but quality sleep. And when we say quality sleep, what makes sleep quality? And I'll throw this to you as a question: what makes sleep of good quality, so that you can provide us with your understanding in the comment section. So, and in the next episode, we will shed more light, especially on quality sleep, because we have been talking of quality sleep from the beginning. But I want you to understand that there is a difference between sleep and quality sleep. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you understand about quality sleep? Drop it in the comment section. And now we're moving forward to the last part of tonight's edition, which is a very short experience of mine. Yes, you will like it. All right, this sleep is highly involved in the ability to learn new things and even remember new things, right? Memory. Now, let me tell you something that happened to me when I was in lower seed, upper seed. Or let me just say, when I was in high school, I was struggling. I wanted to be an A grade student. Well, I was an average student before then, so I wanted to live up to the expectations of an A grade student. So I would literally return back to the house by 8, 9 p.m. Then I will sleep. To me, I was sleeping. I'll sleep from that 9 or 10 p.m., and by maximum 1 a.m. I am up to study. And when I'm up by that time, I have not given my body enough time to rest. I have not given my body enough time to process new information and make new memory. Now, I wake up, and when I wake up, generally I feel more tired. I feel more restless as compared to how I slept, because I did not cycle through all the processes or all the stages of sleep, and it affected me in ways that I never really comprehended. And around point in time, I will read a particular paragraph or passage or line or sentence like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and I'll not get to understand that particular line or sentence. Not because I lack the ability to comprehend, but because I never gave my body the enough rest it needed to process new information. So, but it was very easy. Now, what saved me is I quickly understood that I needed more rest. I quickly understood that I needed more rest, and I took time off to rest. And after resting, I decided to reschedule my time, and everything became now to my advantage, and I was able to function better. I was able to be more productive. I was able to be more accountable. I was able to do more things, remember more things, create more memories, and learn new information faster, because I gave myself enough time to rest. And this is a trap that so many people fall into. You have a new project, you feel like if you do not give in 72 hours of non-sleep, you will not get that project done. And you burn yourself throughout the night, throughout the day. You have no time to rest, and you think you're doing yourself any good. You're not doing yourself any good, because the time you have taken not to rest, the time you have decided not to rest, is a time you're taking to be unproductive. And one thing that can really really affect an ambitious person, a person who is very focused and conscious, is doing something but knowing you're not productive. Doing something but knowing you're not productive. So for you to be constantly productive, for you to constantly do the important things, you need time to rest. And some people always ask, so what is the average time or average hours to rest? What's the average hours to rest? And science has made us to understand that averagely for an adult, you need between 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day. And if you take 7 to 8 hours of sleep per day out of 24 hours, how many do you have? Let us take 8 hours. For instance, you take 8 hours. How many hours do you have left to do the other things? Yeah, how many hours do you have left to do the other things? So if you have 16 hours left to do every other thing, so if you can take 8 hours to rest and use 16 hours each day to do every other activity and do it well, isn't it profitable rather than you taking 3 hours to rest and then using the remaining hours to be unproductive? So, ladies and gentlemen, prioritize sleep. Make sleep a priority. There are people that some of you that do not even consider sleep important at all, but make sleep a priority until you reach a point where your body begins to malfunction because of lack of sleep. Then you will take sleep important until you reach a point where your brain will not be able to process any new information. then you will take sleep important. And my advice to you tonight is that sleep is something that is highly neglected by people, by so many of us. But from today hence, we should take sleep very, very important. We should prioritize sleep, and we should ensure that we have quality sleep. Make sure we are well rested throughout the night in preparation for the next day, because you'll be able to process new information, you'll be able to function better, and everything will be better and better and better. So if you enjoyed this particular episode, ladies and gentlemen, please do not hesitate to drop in your comments, and remember, there is a question for you to answer. Go and answer that question, drop in your comments and even your questions, and of course we will be very happy to answer and address your questions. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, thank you for your time, and thank you for constantly being there to support us. And before I go, I must thank the technical team for the amazing work they are doing to make sure that we constantly have this good information sent out to the public. And of course, without you, we will not be here, and without us, you will not be here. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, stay tuned and see you in the next episode. Thank you.